On May 21st, 2019, the Beefy Smash Dudes released this video, and basically to sum up, it's a compilation of community combos and crazy clips that they can find, but there was one combo out of all of them that particularly stuck out to both me and them, which is why it's based off the thumbnail, and I'm going to show you guys it right now.
Oh, what?
So it's pretty obvious that this isn't really a normal clip because the Ryu was able to perfect Shoryuken even after Palutena are cancelled, and the Beefy Smashers were of course shocked by this, so I got curious myself and I went to my lab, aka Smash Training Mode. And I also collected some research before I went into the actual lab, but before we start, there are some rules. Number one is that I will only be testing this with the light jab. So basically all of the moves that can be cancelled of, like all the aerials, all of the tilts, they won't be tested, so I'm not sure if those work. And also I'm not going to be testing on the aerial Shoryuken, so you're only going to see the jab to grounded Shoryuken. Number two is that I had to put this into slow motion to execute it, so there will be no audio. And number three, like I said before, is that I don't know if the aerial Shoryuken works as well as the grounded one because they do have different frame data. But all that being said, I'm really excited to just show you guys, especially you Ryu and Ken mains, so let's get right into the video. The first set of characters that we're going to be covering are characters that can basically just straight up be beat by both Ken and Ryu. All you have to do is immediately just put in the true Shoryuken as soon as you're done jabbing. Make sure you put it in as quick as possible because this is frame perfect. And the characters that can be beat are Palutena, Marth, Lucina, Roy, Chrom, and Ike. The next set of characters are what I like to call the timables. These are characters that you have to time the true Shoryuken or you will not have any effect or you will be beat out. So starting off the list is Greninja, who you need to actually time the true Shoryuken to as soon as he comes out of the smoke for you to be able to phase through him without getting any hits. Now, you cannot hit Greninja whatsoever, but at least you can get through his counter if you're able to time it correctly. If you do it too early, you will clash and then he'll phase through you. Next up on the list is Lucario's double team counter, which phases through Ryu on both the front and back side, and with Ken he actually clashes. This is frame perfect. With Max Aura, Lucario is able to phase through both Ken and Ryu, most likely because he has more intangibility and he's faster. Shulk's vision counter is a really special case because it's actually the same kind of timeable idea, except that if you do it too early you will lose, and if you do it a little bit later you'll actually win it and you'll be able to hit him out of his counter. I didn't test this with holding forward with the counter because I couldn't do it with only two hands, but I'm assuming all the Shulk mains or whoever's watching this will be able to test it themselves, and maybe let me know down below in the comments on what happens when he holds forward. Next up is Little Max counter, which in my opinion is actually the hardest to counter with the true Shoryuken. It's really specific with the amount of delaying you have to do with the true Shoryuken. I'll slow it down so you guys can see around where the animation you have to do it, but if you immediately do it you will lose it, so it's kind of similar to Shulk's. I just think it's extremely hard to hit. Finally, the last set of characters I'm going to be talking about are the unbeatables. These guys just cannot be beat. The true Shoryuken, even with its intangibility, does not work against them. Number one is Bayonetta, and her counter slows them down, which either cancels the input of the Shoryuken completely or renders it useless because of how slow it is. And on top of this, I also tested it with using her counter a bunch of times and wasting it and basically making the short version, and I was still unable to hit it even when she rolled into me with the counter. Next up, we have the Big Belly King K. Rool, who completely beats out Ryu and Ken because his intangibility lasts out of their Shoryuken. The only way that they're actually able to punish him is if he reverses it, which at that point there's no point in it because there would be no point in reversing the counter, but yeah, basically he cannot be beat. Mii Sword Fighter is also exactly the same as King K. Rool in the fact that he completely beats out Ryu and Ken. And yeah, that's about it when it comes to Mii Sword Fighter. He's pretty simple when it comes to the whole counter true Shoryuken thing. He just simply beats them and there's nothing else that they can do about it. Ken and Ryu have no chance against Peach and Daisy. This is because they have 3 separate hitboxes that appear at 3 different times, so no matter if they delay it, if they do it immediately, if they do it in the middle, it does not matter. They cannot beat it whatsoever. I think this is really great for Peach and Daisy players because then that way they have no way of being beat whenever they counter against a Ryu or Ken. Incineroar's counter is kind of unique because even though it looks like Ken and Ryu can beat him after they jab, he ends up just taking the damage from the jab and then just knocking them back with the fire. There are some situations where it looks like Ryu and Ken can get pretty close to hitting him, but at the end of the day, he has too much intangibility, almost up to frame 20 I believe, that he just cannot hit them, and he attacks too early for them to be able to do anything against it. The only time I was able to find a loophole in this is when you input the true Shoryuken at a very specific timing. I'll slow it down for you guys to be able to see, but if you time it at the right spot, you're actually able to phase through his second hit where he knocks you back and you can just go undamaged and safe. And finally, similar to Incineroar's counter, Korin's counter is unbeatable, and this is because its intangibility is up to frame 7, which actually beats out Ryu and Ken Shoryuken. But even after I did test it for a while, no matter how much I delayed it or how quickly I did it, I was unable to hit Korin, and I think this has to do with the intangibility that the counter has on it. But there you guys have it. That is Ken and Ryu's true Shoryuken against the counter. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that bell icon, smash that like button, share this video if you guys think it helped you out, smash forums, let all the Ken and Ryu mains know that this does exist. Make sure to check out the Beefy Smash Roots if you haven't already. They're a great channel. They have content very similar to the kind of style in this video. I love their stuff. They taught me a lot. And I'm really thankful for the video that they submitted, because without it I would not have been able to test this. So with that, I'll leave you guys to it. Make sure to test it in the air. I want to see if the true Shoryuken can hit in different situations with back air, forward air, up air, whatever it is. Let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, it means the world, guys, and I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.